You saw him first on BET. You heard him love talking on WPGC. He's inspired the hearts of many on DaJour Live. And now, he's back on CBS Big Talk Radio. It's Conversations with Prince DaJour. And now, here's your host, Durek Prince DaJour.
All right. I'm feeling absolutely fantabulous today. Happy Friday to everybody who's listening right now in the D.C. metropolitan area, worldwide. Happy Friday to you. And as we always say each and every week, this is the official happy hour. Right. This is the only hour you can just walk away feeling happy, Tina. You know what I mean? People go to bars, they do all that kind of stuff, and they still walk away feeling sad. So this is Relationship Radio.
Yes.
And each and every Friday, we want to give you an opportunity to talk about, pressing issues, things that are on your heart in regards to relationships. And of course, we always get emails from all over the place, from people reaching out. I mean, we have some issues in the area of relationships, so hopefully we can help them out. Now, of course, Tina, I believe we got a lot of, Tina's always handling all the business behind the scenes. Now, we got a lot of hits this week from Facebook and the internet. People want shout outs and things like that. Who do we have this week?
All right, we have Harlem, New York in the house.
You said Harlem, New York?
Harlem, New
Now,
York.
hold up. I have to say something about Harlem, New York. I just moved back to this area from Harlem some time ago. And Harlem World, man, changed my life. The whole world lives in Harlem. That's all I have to say about that,
We also have Dayton, Ohio.
I used to live in Dayton. A lot of people don't know that. In a small town called Union, Ohio. It was only about 10 people.
And of course, we can't forget about L.A.
Of course, I lived in Los Angeles, while doing the BET days and all that. So we had a good time. So enough love to them. Anybody else?
What about, we can't forget about our friends in the UK,
The UK, wow, that's pretty big right there. So We're doing the UK now. And over in the UK, they love American music and they love American talk shows.
Absolutely.
That's really big. So it's a pretty big brand name. All right, I want to do a couple of shout outs before we get started. I want to give a shout out to Terry McFadden King, good friend of mine. I forgot to shout her out last week. She's such a lovely lady.
Terry.
Her and her family, her husband Maurice and the whole family, they've been a blessing to me. Also, I want to give a shout out to Keith Lynch over at HSC and the entire HSC family.
All right, Keith.
And we have to give a shout out to Taylor and Kennedy Thompson. I understand they're big fans of the show. Thank you guys so much. Enough love to you. Miranda Boozer, Pretrial Services in Washington, D.C. Thank you so much for your support.
Miranda.
We always try to give love to the people who make it possible for us to be here. So that's what it's all about, okay? So this topic today, my. Tina, you're so quiet over there. You okay?
Hey, it's a hot topic. I'm just thinking about some things we're about to get into.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, this topic is kind of deep. It's deep because this is a topic that is very difficult to talk about.
Yes.
It's very difficult to talk about.
Yes.
And, when you think about this, a lot of people don't really like to mention this. Mm-hmm. This is one of those topics that a lot of people don't really get into. Mm-hmm. And, everybody thinks about it in some way or another. We're affected by it, but we don't really want to get into it all. Our topic today, or our conversation, as we like to say, our conversation is cheaters. Now, by now, many people have watched the show on television. It's not the same cheaters. This is our version of cheaters. But, of course, we're not here to kind of expose anybody or point fingers or anything like that. But the topic today is cheaters, from secrets to solace. All right? From secrets to solace is what it's all about.
Right.
And it's very difficult to talk about. But, the primary focus of the show is not so much about us pointing fingers or passing judgments on people, because everybody has been affected by this and will be affected in one way or another, okay? Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
And if we don't touch base on this topic today, eventually this topic will touch base with us.
Y'all heard that, didn't you?
I mean, that is real. I mean, some things you have to address, and if you try to ignore it, all you're going to do is just allow it to build up till it hits you hard and knocks you off of your feet. So that's what we're going to deal with, okay? So it's time to deal with this. This is not so much really about people cheating on us, even though we're going to talk about that, and infidelity. We're going to talk about that. But it's more about in terms of relationships as opposed to us cheating ourselves. And I always talk about this, that, no one can ever do anything to you that you don't allow to be done.
That's right.
It's not an excuse for anyone to go and cheat. Of course, that's the whole nother workshop. But many of us always focus on the person cheating on us. Well, this man cheated on me. Or this lady cheated on me. And that's true. That's a whole nother issue that you have to address in a very intricate way. And we'll deal with some of that later on in the show. But the first cheater in the relationship, there's a primary cheater and there's a secondary cheater, okay? You ready for this, Tina?
I'm ready.
And so the first, or the primary cheater, is the person who's been cheated on. And let me tell you why. Because usually there are a lot of red flags and signs all around us about how a person carries themselves. Now, of course, you have some people who are pretty good at what they do. They're professional cheaters. They know how to do it with the black mask on, the black clothes, and they come down with a rope and barely touch the ground, and in between the infrared light beams and that kind of thing.
Y'all know what he's talking about.
Okay, Mission Impossible, right? But overall, we're talking about the people who become victims. You allow them to come into your life, and you allow people to come into your life that you know cheat. Or you know they had some sort of background. Matter of fact, you probably have met them because you cheated with them when they were with someone else. I know I'm probably stepping on somebody's toes. I apologize. But we don't know who you are. This is radio. It's not television, so we can't see you and you can't see us. But the truth of the matter is that's really real about that, okay? And so to be a true cheater, you can cheat on other people and lie and deceive them and so forth. But ultimately, when you cheat against your spouse or the person that you're involved in, you're ultimately cheating on yourself. And obviously, if you're with them, it's because you love something about the individual that you're with. Okay, you live with them or you're existing with them because you love them and you want to marry them eventually, or maybe you want to establish a relationship with them, okay? Now, what it's all about, it makes you want to be with them as opposed to someone else because it's something that you value. You saw a value in them, and you brought into that value system pretty much, okay? But now the very thing that's valuable to you, you're cheating yourself out of because you're gambling and taking a risk. And that's very real. And let me just stop right there and say this. I'm doing this show even as a man myself, and of course it happens to men, it happens to ladies, whether you're the victim, but whether you're the victim or the victor, it happens to us all. And I have to be the first one to say that, I can't always say in my past that I was the man that I am today. Let's just simply keep it real. I'm just being real, okay? But the man that I am today, I can't necessarily also say that I would want to remain to be. I'm serious. Right. I'm not who I used to be, but who I am today is better than yesterday. But who I am today, as I look upon it, I'm human. It's definitely not where I want to end up being in the next 5 or 10 years. There's a lot of growth that needs to take place even in my personal life. And I think, and it's not an excuse, okay? But I think that a lot of men are raised to be boyfriends as opposed to husbands. And so therefore, as we get older, we're trying to figure this thing out. It has nothing to do with cheating. Of course, I don't want anybody to misinterpret what I'm saying. I'm just saying that a lot of ingredients and factors involved in why we do what we do, okay, men and women alike. Cheating is not always just about sex. Sometimes cheating is about your self-esteem. That's right. It's about a lot of other things that's going on. Cheating is actually only a reaction to the problem. It's not the root of the problem. Cheating is the outward expression of what's going on inside. Wow. And so oftentimes we've been focusing for so many years on people cheating. What we need to do is probably talk to a pastor or a counselor and find out what happened during your childhood, what happened to your previous relationships in high school and college, things of that sort. So, let's be real with this. And you think about, cheating and that type of thing, okay? When you think about that, you're pretty much taking a gamble. You're taking a risk. If you do any research on people who have addictions to gambling, it's some of the same traits that you have when you're addicted to infidelity and cheating, things of that nature, okay? And so now you're about to lose the very thing that you value. It's like throwing away a $100 bill, okay? But who does that? I mean, Tina, would you just throw away a $100 bill?
Absolutely
I can't afford to do that.
I need my money too bad.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't have money to throw away.
And you know what's funny? You said, I need my money too bad. And the truth is, those of us who really love the people that we're involved in, we really need them.
That's right.
As much as we need our money. Because who can afford to throw money away? Who can afford to throw true love away? When you finally discover true love, only a fool would throw it away. I mean, let's keep it real, okay? Who would throw away a lottery ticket before you have a chance to cash it in? I mean, nobody that I can imagine would do that. We end up throwing it away and taking a risk, just like we're at the casinos in Las Vegas.
Wow.
That's real right there.
Right.
Okay, it's like getting your check after working 80 hours and all of a sudden just throwing it away in the trash. I'm not trying to go there. I mean, if I work 80 hours, I want to get my money, right?
That's
right.
And
I think most people feel the same way. So imagine if you just value the marriage or the relationship that you're in. Now, our topic today is from secrets to solace. We understand, and let's talk about secrets here for a minute. Secrets are always done in darkness. Most secrets or crimes are committed at nighttime or in a way or in a place where nobody knows about it. Okay, that's when most of everything goes down. Even infidelity kind of goes down during the daytime at lunchtime. Matter of fact, it may be happening right now to somebody who's listening. I'm going to call all of this out because we have to address this thing head on, okay? But oftentimes, it happens at night. Right. Am I right about that, Tina?
Oh, you absolutely
Okay, it happens at night. So we think about solace. When you think about solace simply deals with exposing the light. When you think about solace, you kind of think about the solar system. It has a lot to do with the circle of life, healing, and completeness. So we have to go from all of the secrets that we have in our relationships to becoming whole, coming full circle to ourselves, to the God in us, and healing those areas of our secrecies in terms of cheating, infidelity, and that kind of thing, okay? It represents life, and we need to have a solace with ourselves. That's just really the bottom line. We need to come full circle to live again, to live our lives. A lot of people are going through cheating and infidelity, and when you do, I mean, let's be real with this. It simply kills a part of our self-esteem.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
mean, you probably seem cool that you have all the ladies, or ladies, you have a lot of different guys, a lot of gentlemen that you can date. But ultimately, it chisels away pieces of your life.
That's right. And you can only hide from yourself for so long.
That's the bottom line.
Think about it.
And I think we talked about this on a couple other shows, that a broken heart is much easier to mend than a shattered heart.
Wow.
Okay? And many people who are struggling with the areas of infidelity and cheating, your hearts are broken. And in some cases, your hearts are shattered, okay? So you have to be really, really careful about that. And so when I think about infidelity and cheating, I also think about how many of us think about being cheated in terms of money. You know, you cheated me out of my money. When you go to the store, you go to the store and you purchase something, you give them a $50 bill or a $100 bill, and you expect a certain amount of change back. But the change you expect back is based on what you paid for. And as we said the other day, love costs, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Self-esteem costs, and you have to pay a price, and it doesn't go on sale. Many of us are experiencing a return, but not giving, okay? And the return that we're receiving is not really equivalent to what we've been given. So we feel shortchanged in the relationship,
That's
okay?
right.
And that's what's really happening in love. Anytime you exchange money from one hand to the next hand, I feel like I'm teaching right now. Am I teaching? I feel that thing, feel that teacher thing coming on me. Look, anytime you exchange money from one hand to the next, in the bank or an individual, it's an exchange. I mean, it's a reciprocation that needs to occur. The problem is that many people are giving a lot of their love to their spouses, to their mates, but they feel, again, shortchanged because they figured, I gave you my love and you gave me some change back that didn't amount to the bill that I gave you. And we're giving a comparison to money, of course. And so if we are receiving, we're not receiving back the value of which we've given based on the price that we have to pay. And so we feel cheated in the relationship. So I'm just trying to lay some foundational ground here to help you understand. We talk about being cheated on. Again, primarily you're cheating yourself because you accept that person in your life, knowing some of the red flags that you saw previously, knowing that, you know, where they were before they became your man or your woman. You already saw how they operate in previous relationships. It doesn't mean that people can't change. I'm not saying that. I do believe in redemption, and I believe in new beginnings, but I do believe also that you need to be smart enough and practical enough and be real with yourself enough to see signs when they're right in front of you. The warning signs, okay?
There are always warning signs.
Always warning signs,
all over the place.
And see, the person may feel like, because I gave you all of my love, and you gave me back a portion of what you considered love to be, and I don't believe it's the correct change, okay? I need you to give me the correct change, okay? I gave you my money, give me my change back. And the change that I need is not so much symbolic of money, but the change is as in change as an individual. It's an individual change.
So you're talking about change in the literal sense.
Right. I mean, not just money, but you want to give the person your love. You want them to give you change.
Wow.
Change as in changing your ways.
Yes.
Okay. Loving me correctly, loving me how I need to be loved. And that's the kind of change that we need to focus on in love. Because when you give your money, most of us say, hold up, man, I gave you a $50 bill. We take it very personal that we gave that money. You know, I'm giving you all my bill money. I want to make sure I'm getting and receiving in return something equivalent to the value that I gave you. And unfortunately, we feel shortchanged in that area. So
ladies, what you have to do actually is to reflect back on yourself.
That's right.
So the next time that man comes home and he changes up plans on you at the last second, don't get an attitude, okay?
Well, it's not even so much about just changing plans. I think it's about changing plans of the relationship, period.
Okay.
I mean, you can change the plans of going to the restaurant. I mean, we initially talked about the Chinese restaurant, but now we're going to do Japanese. You can make those kind of change, but don't change how you love me.
Okay.
And that's, Tina, I think you're absolutely correct. That's where a lot of people are making those changes, okay? You know, not only are they changing dinner plans, but they're changing life plans, okay? You told me early on that you would love me correctly, how I need to be loved. Now, I feel like you're going around cheating on me. Now, infidelity is involved, and I have some warning signs. I have some telltale signs that make me feel like we need to talk about this thing, you know, and that's a real reality right there. And let's go back here for a minute. Let's go back and talk about in terms of infidelity and cheating. Again, people always see the warning signs. A lot of women say, well, girl, he used to cheat on his last girlfriend or his baby mama, but I can change him.
Right.
I know once he get a hold to me, I know I'm all of that. I'm Superwoman. I'll change this man to make him love me.
That's right.
And guess what? He ended up cheating on you just like he cheated on his last girlfriend. And it's not just the fellas. The ladies do it the same way. Matter of fact, they're even more sneaky than the men are sometimes, because
sometimes we are.
Yeah, and it goes both ways. I mean, we're not trying to point fingers, but we're just trying to call a spade a spade. It goes both ways. This is what we're going to do when we come back. We're going to talk more about that exchange. You know, when I give you my money, I expect change in return. When I give you my love, I expect you to change. Our topic today is cheaters. From secrets to solace, from the secrecy lifestyle to finding peace with yourself, to finding solace with yourself. Of course, your questions and comments are always welcome at 301-794-5150. It's the Happy Hour, Conversation Radio. Right here, Conversations with Prince DaJour, Relationship Radio. Happy Friday to you. Hanging out with James Brown, Tina Marie, and the whole crew. We'll be right back in just a matter of minutes. Right here on DaJour.